Hello, welcome to the Roundhouse podcast with Paul Sulentrop of Wichita State University Strategic Communications. We thank you for listening. Today we are joined by two Wichita State track and field athletes. They will help us get ready for the American Athletic Conference Outdoor Championships, which is happening this weekend at Cessna Stadium. Maria Romero is a multi-athlete who will compete in the heptathlon this weekend. She finished 8th in the heptathlon last spring in the outdoor championships. She ranks 8th in the conference entering this weekend with 4,724 points. She is a athletic junior academic senior from Madrid, Spain, and a four-time academic all-conference selection. Paula Garcia is a senior sprinter from Madrid. She is Wichita State's record holder in the indoor 200 with a time of 23.61 seconds. She's third in the outdoor 200, fourth in the indoor 60 meters, and fifth in the outdoor 100 meters. This weekend, she will compete in the 200 and perhaps the 400 and 1600 meter relays, although those things always seem subject to change. Let's start with letting you know the schedule. The championships begin Friday at Cessna Stadium. They continue Saturday and Sunday. You can find the schedule on GoShockers.com. You can watch it on ESPN+. So there's a pipeline from Spain here to Wichita State. Tell us the origin stories. How did you end up coming to Wichita State to study and run track and field? Paula, we'll start with you.
Well, it was all Claudia's fault, I'd say. Claudia Rojo, she used to be on the team. She graduated last year, and I guess she was just the first athlete from Spain coming to Wichita State, and I guess she just opened the doors for the rest of us. She helped me with the whole process and to come to Wichita State basically, and then I helped out Maria and Nerea, which is another athlete. She's a jumper and sprinter on the team.
Describe a little bit about how the recruiting process works when you're an international student.
So we kind of hired this like sports agency, and they help us out creating a profile so universities can see us. They basically act as the middleman in between the international athletes and the universities, and it's just like a recruitment platform, I'd say. So basically, that's how universities contact us through email and everything, and this agency creates profile of us with our ACT scores, our times, and videos, so coaches can get to know us a little bit more, I'd say.
And just to be clear, so Claudia was a hurdler, a multi-athlete, won several all-conference awards at Wichita State. Maria, how about you then? How did you end up here at Wichita State?
Yeah, so it was Paula's fault. When I finished high school, I wanted to come to the U.S., and I was looking through different schools, talking to different coaches, and one day Paula sent me a text and said, like, hey, Wichita State is interested in Spanish athletes. So are you interested? And I look at the website, I contacted the coaches, and everything went great. And after listening to Paula and Claudia talking, saying like really good things about Wichita State, my family and I were relieved. And I don't know, knowing someone from your own country here is, it was like a relief for everyone. So I came here because of the program that I have, the track and field program, and because they had the academically, I could do both things at the same time. So.
Describe how the athletics and the academic works in Spain, because I think that's significantly different, and that's a reason why the tennis program at Wichita State, they get a lot of international athletes, track and field, kind of depends. Describe how that works for people so maybe they get an understanding about what's the motivation to come here to study and do your sport.
Yes, so a school and sports are two different organizations. So if you want to play a sport, you have to join a club. So universities and, sports clubs don't work together at all. So basically, when you go to the university to study, you are on your own, and professors, they don't really care that you're an athlete. So, school is your priority, so you cannot focus on your sport as much as you would like to. And if you have to travel, you have to miss classes, and obviously professors are not gonna facilitate anything for you, not like in the US.
So, Paula, then it sounds like if you want to do both, that's the advantage of coming to the United States. They work together.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I even know people that have studied some type of engineering at home, and they had to quit track because they just couldn't do it. Studying an engineering is pretty demanding already, and if they put a lot of like roadblocks on your path, it's just so I just know a lot of people that eventually that they are actually really good, but they just can't do it. Yeah.
Had either of you been to the United States before you came to Wichita State?
No, it was actually my first time.
Me too.
How do you prepare for that? What were those first days, first weeks like of adjusting to all the new school, new country, all those kind of new things?
I mean, it was rough. I mean, I've always been an independent person, not like really attached to my family, but I guess that living here away from that has made me more attached to them. But yeah, I know, definitely I was really surprised with myself because I remember I got here and I got sick during the trip, like flying and everything. I just had like a really bad cold. And that plus that I was getting pretty homesick. I remember that when we had our first doctor's appointments and checkups, I ended up like they would just ask you a bunch of questions like, how are you feeling and stuff like that. And I ended up crying at the doctor's office because I was just feeling so bad and I was really homesick and I was just like, I just miss my family. But then she ended up just giving me a hug and then it was just fine. I ended up, I don't know, you just get used to it eventually. Then school starts and track starts and you just get so busy with everything that you don't really have time to stop and think about it really. It's just it takes time to adjust for sure. But I mean, I've done it, Maria has done it, a lot of people have done it, and it's just really worth it in the end.
Maria, what was your early days at Wichita State? What do you remember about that?
Yeah, so I had a different experience because when I came here, for me, everything was new, everything was exciting. So I didn't get homesick my first year, but I did my second year. So it happens eventually. But my first year, I was just excited all the time about seeing all these new things. The buildings look different here. The roads look different. So I was like living in a dream because, I only saw the U.S. from movies and TV shows, and I was finally here. And one of the first things, this is a funny story, one of the first things I did when I got to the airport, Coach Wise picked me up from the airport. And the first thing I did was give him 2 kisses on the cheeks because that's what we did in Spain. And it was just funny because I didn't know it was not a thing here. I think my face turned red, but
excellent. That's a good introduction. Good introduction.
Yes, a good first impression.
So, has there been a place that you've traveled now in the United States that you really wanted to see? Something you had seen in the movies, and now you've been there, or anything like that that's been interesting?
Yeah, go ahead.
So in 2019, my family and I took a really big trip around the U.S. It was amazing. It was the first time that my parents were in the U.S., so they wanted to go big. So we visited New York, California, Las Vegas, Arizona, and we drove from San Francisco to Wichita. So that was a lot of fun. Right now, I think I would like to visit some places, like anywhere in the U.S. I would love to travel.
For me, I always wanted to go to New York City, of course. And my mom came here, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago during fall break, and Claudia Rojo came with me as well. And we went to New York City for like 5 days, and that trip was amazing. I loved it. But also this year, I think it's like one of the trips I've loved the most. We went to Oregon for a track meet like a month or so ago, and it was just amazing. I mean, we went to Washington too last fall break. I went with Maria and Claudia and two other friends, and I mean, I loved it so much. It's so pretty there. So Oregon was pretty similar, but then you add the track history and just the Oregon facility and campus, and I mean, it blew my mind. I loved it. So I'm just really grateful that we got to go there, especially in my last year, since I don't know if I'm ever going to be back there. Hopefully I will be, but I don't know.
It seems like a universal experience. Everyone loves going to Eugene and the atmosphere and everything, definitely. So you've both been to New York City. What was the highlight? What stood out about your trip to New York?
I don't know, just everything. I mean, we're from a big city. Madrid is a big city too. And personally, it's something that I really miss. Just like tall buildings. I don't know why, but I just love them. And the fact that there's a lot of people, just the environment and the vibe is different. But I guess that's something that you have to get used to it for sure. If you are not used to it, I'd say that you can get pretty stressed out. But yeah, I don't know. It's just everything. Like, it's always in the movies, and I guess I think it's just a city that's been marketed pretty well.
Definitely.
So,
there's no shortage of New York publicity. Maria, what do you remember about your trip to New York?
I was overwhelmed. I'm from a big city, from Madrid, but oh my gosh, yeah, I was overwhelmed with all the lights, traffic. There were so many things to look at, and the tall buildings, people. So I loved it, but I'm more of a nature person, so I prefer nature.
Tell us how track and field is different. So athletics in Europe, as far as I can understand, much more club-based, like you said. So how is it different being a track and field athlete in Europe as opposed to then you come over here and you're part of a team at a university? How's that different?
So since you're part of a club, I mean, it's a club, it's still a team, but it's way more individual. That team spirit, it's not as big as it is here, especially because our most important competitions are individual, like just nationals and U23 championships, U20, European championships, whatever. Here, basically, the goal is conference. And then if you get to go to first rounds and nationals, that's more individual. But here, especially at Wichita State, I don't know about other universities, here we're really team-oriented. So I'd say that that's the most significant difference between between track here and in Europe. Also, we compete way less. We do less events per weekend. And that's something that I had to get used to here. But now, I think, honestly, that's made me really strong mentally and physically. So it has its perks.
Maria, was the team aspect of it, was that hard to adjust to?
Yeah, so back in Spain, I didn't train with multis at all. So when I came here, I had a group for the first time. But it made things way more fun because I had a group of 6-7 girls that I could train with. So, running a spin endurance and throwing and, practicing for 3 hours a day, it was just more fun with people than by myself.
Yeah, the competition aspect of it. I'm working on another story about someone from Spain on the track team, and that got brought up. So describe the routine. I guess in Spain, it's much more you practice for weeks and weeks for one meet, whereas here you compete a lot more because of the team aspect of it. Is that correct?
Yeah. Also, our season's different. Indoor season's the same, but we have a longer amount of time between indoor and outdoor. So here's basically you finish indoor, and 3 weeks afterwards you're already competing for outdoor. But at home, I think it's like a month or a month and a half. So you have time to step back, build a little base again, and then it's kind of like starting over again a little bit. But I mean, here it makes sense that it's this way because it has to end within the school period.
So the American Athletic Conference outdoor meet starts on Friday. What is the advantage of having it here at home?
Oh, I'm going to sleep in my own bed. I'm going to eat my own food. We don't have to travel. So that is a big advantage, I would say.
Yeah, she just said it all. Plus our family's here.
Yes.
So.
That leads me to my next question. So both of your families are here for graduation and also for the track meet. What kind of an experience will that be to have them here for those two big events?
It'll be amazing.
Yeah, it's just super exciting that everyone is here.
Yeah.
We're just going to have a big
Spanish party.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, they've never really watched us. They've never watched us compete here in the U.S. And then when we go home, if we compete, because I usually compete, but Maria, I think you haven't competed in a while.
Yeah, I haven't competed.
So they just haven't watched us compete in maybe years, So I don't know. I think it's really special to us that they were able to come all the way here, and they're going to be here for two of our most important events of our lives, I'd say. Especially me being a senior, this is my last conference championship. So I'm really glad it's at home and that everything worked out, because, COVID just made things kind of hard, because Claudia's parents were going to come here for her last year. But then COVID happened, and then so they weren't even able to come for her graduation, and yeah. But now they're here too. So
you mentioned a Spanish party. Will there be food? What will the Spanish party look like that might be interesting to Americans?
You'll hear a lot of people screaming and cheering at the track for
yes.
sure.
You will hear our moms when we compete. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that would be the main thing.
Tell us about, you're both many years into your college experience, your college track and field experience. If you were to look back and give a freshman advice about what's going to be happening over the next 4 or 5 years, what would you tell them? How do they get the most out of this whole scene?
I would say enjoy every single day, because time flies by. This is my 5th year. And I just have one more year of track. It's almost done pretty much. And so I would say just enjoy as much as you can and take advantage of every opportunity that you have in your academics. And if you do sports too, work hard, but enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. It really does fly by. I mean, I'm moving home in a month, and I've been living here for 6 years. So it blows my mind. I don't think I would do anything differently. I've had hard moments here, hard seasons, but everyone does. But then when you look back, you don't really remember those. You only stay with the good memories, the fun times, the people, and it's just really take everything in and live in the moment. Just don't stress out about the future, because it's gonna come sooner than you think, and then you're gonna look back and then I don't know.
Maria, you participated in one of the leadership programs here at Wichita State. Tell us a little bit about that and what you got out of that experience.
Yeah, so this year was the first year ever that they did this program. And it's just been an amazing experience.
Tell us the name of the program.
Yes, so the name is the Widener Global Leaders Program. 10 women were selected back in August. And we've just been doing a lot of activities about leadership, but it is mainly focused on business, communication, and music. So all the activities were focused on that. So we tour a lot of businesses in Wichita. We've done workshops about about how to do interviews, or how to even what to wear for an interview. So it's been just a great opportunity. Thanks to this program, I've been able to network with many people, and I got to meet Dr. Parcell, which is the director of the master's that I want to study next year. So I've been able to network with her, and thanks to that, I'll be teaching assistant next semester. So
Probably should have asked this earlier. Give us your majors, your academic field of study.
yes, I'm a marketing major.
I graduated with a marketing major a year and a half ago, and I'm graduating this weekend with an MBA.
Well, very good. Congratulations. So one of the common threads when you talk to athletes is a lot of them arrive here and they pretty quickly learn the importance of diet, nutrition, sleep, all those kind of things if they really want to, reach the places they want to reach as an athlete. Take us through that from your perspective. What kind of changes or improvements have you made in that area?
I mean, well, this year has been the first year that I've been working with a nutritionist. They're from back home, but we just do it like online and calls and stuff. And I mean, the improvement that I've noticed with my body and performance is amazing. I mean, you can just look at my times. And I don't know, I've always been a person that I've always taken care of myself, and I know that resting and sleep and nutrition is always really important. It's 50-50. So yeah, I don't know. And I like to eat well. And if you really want to go the extra mile and reach your full potential, nutrition, it's where you should really start.
Mm-hmm. From my experience, my freshman and sophomore year, I struggled a lot adapting to the food here. I think food is a little bit different, and the schedule where that people eat here. In Spain, we lunch at 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. Here, I have to eat at 11 or 12, so that was a little bit hard for me. Then I started to figure it out, and I think now I'm doing a pretty good job with my diet. But I think that diet and resting is very important for an athlete. And right now, Paula and I take our own food to track meets.
Yeah.
So we just we bring a cooler with us, and we just pack our food. So I think it's very important what you eat during the season and even before track meets.
Give us a peek inside the cooler. What will you take to the track meets?
It really depends on how long we're away and stuff, but I don't know. I think, I took all of my food to Oregon, and we were there for 5 days. So yeah, it's just a bunch of rice and white meat and potatoes, and that's especially right before the track meet. And then protein powder, pre-workout, electrolyte pills and dates. I eat dates in between events. Because that really kind of wakes me up and gives me some sugar, but it's good sugar. So, yeah.
What's been the hardest food to say no to?
Oof.
For me, chocolate, I guess, and sugar. I've been doing a pretty good job this year controlling that, but once in a while, I feel like I need some dessert, so I get a treat.
Yeah. Honestly, it's not hard for me to not eat something just because I have a cheat day a week that I can eat whatever I want. But yeah, no, the hardest part for me is just eating some yogurt and fruit when I have my roommates eating brownies or pizza right in front of me.
Okay.
So,
what do you eat on your cheat day?
It depends. I can eat whatever I want. It can even be healthy if I want to. Because my diet is pretty strict. I have all of the quantities and ingredients set throughout the whole week. But I usually eat chocolate and maybe make some desserts or cheesecake or something. Or just I eat pasta all the time, but filled pasta raviolis with I don't know a truffle sauce. So good. But yeah, I don't know. I don't go and eat fries and fried chicken because my stomach cannot handle that either. But I don't know. I just eat whatever I feel like eating.
So meal prep is important. That's what I'm getting from this. You got to do the meal prep.
Yeah,
definitely. Favorite book, movie, TV show when you're not studying, when you're not doing track and field. How are you occupying your time in those ways?
So right now, one of my hobbies is doing yoga. So when I have some free time, I do yoga. I think in the future I want to be an instructor. But I don't watch much TV. But when I do, I just try to watch something with my roommates. So any kind, any genre, I love to hang out with them. So I think that's the point.
Well, so for me, I love to read. I love it. But sadly, it's something that I don't usually do during the school year just because I already read a lot in school and I have to study. So it's like I want to, but I don't feel like doing it. And then I love going on walks. I love it. I listen to music and I can just go. I would walk for 3 hours, but I don't because I'll get tired and I have to feel good for practice. But yeah, no, I love that. And then honestly, I watch a lot of TV. I like it. I mean, especially like Netflix or like Hulu or HBO Max. But I mean, my all-time favorite show is Friends for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that's when I don't know what to watch or I feel like I just don't want to think about anything. That's my go-to.
And did you get hooked on that in Spain?
Yeah, ever since I was kind of little. Yeah, so.
Okay, well, recommend a book. If you're a big reader, hit people with the one book they need to read.
There's so many. Well, I loved Shoe Dog, the story of Nike and Phil Knight. So good. And then, I mean, I also love the Hunger Games series, and they just released the new one like a few years ago, and they're gonna make the movie. So yeah, and well, I also love The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins. I really like that author. It's really good, like
Okay.
mystery and murder and stuff. Yeah.
One book that I read this year that is very similar to the Hunger Games is A Number in the Ashes. My friend Jalen recommended me this book, and I really liked it.
Yeah, I read that one too because Jalen gave it to me as a gift for my birthday. So yeah, I ended up reading like all of 3 out of the 4 books. I still have to read the last one.
Excellent. Love to hear it. Reading is good. Favorite American food? Is there something that you had never had and you got here and now you really kind of like it?
Yeah.
Peanut butter for me. Yeah, we don't have peanut butter in Spain, so when I came here, I tried peanut butter. And my freshman year, I had peanut butter with everything, to the point that people were looking at me weird.
No peanut butter in Spain. That's
Yeah.
interesting. I wonder why that is.
Well, now we do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but when we first got here, like 4 or 5 years ago, it wasn't as popular as it is here.
Good.
For me, it was pecan pie and cornbread. Yeah.
Okay, those
I don't
two.
know.
Yeah, I guess those would be American. Yeah,
Yeah.
American things. Interesting. All right, let's wrap it up. Let's say there is a Shocker fan out there who says, "I want to come out and check out track and field this weekend. I don't know much about it. Give them a recommendation other than your own events. What might be interesting for a Shocker fan to come out and watch?"
I mean, the throws for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guys in the javelin are really good, and I think we have a lot of them competing in that event. And also, of course, Michael Ryan in the hammer.
Throw.
Yeah. And then, well, we have a lot of guys in the multi, and Adria, another Spanish, the only Spanish guy on the team, and then Tanner Brown. They went first and second indoor in the heptathlon. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure they're going to do great in the decathlon on Friday and Saturday.
So watching the multis, and Maria, this would be good for you. With so many events, is there a best strategy for coming out and getting a feel for it when maybe you're not going to be able to watch every event, but you can really get a good idea of how to watch that? What would your recommendation be for that?
Yes, so first bring some sunscreen.
An
Yes,
umbrella.
it's going to be very hot. So, the 800 is the most exciting event out of the 7 because it's the last event, and people are running to score points at the conference and to place as high as you can. So I think it's my favorite event. So it's the most exciting one.
I feel like everything is decided in that last event.
Yes, like people can move up or move down a lot. Some people hate it, some people love it, so that's why you can move up a lot on that event.
Hi, this is Rick Muma, president of Wichita State University. Check out the latest episode of the Forward Together podcast. Each episode, I sit down with different guests from Shocker Nation to celebrate the vision and mission of Wichita State University. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Thank you for listening to the Roundhouse podcast, courtesy of Wichita State University Strategic Communications. We appreciate your time. We encourage you to rate, review, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, such as on iTunes or Google Play. You can find more Roundhouse content at GoShockers.com. Thank you for listening.
And they let him pass it up court, and then it gets picked off. A long three by Pangos, no good. 1 second, it's over. It is over, and Wichita State has beaten the number one team in the nation to go to the Sweet 16. Go crazy, Wichita. I know you are.